month in crime in the 9-4 precinct. We're currently up one crime versus last year, 70 versus 69. We're down 3 robberies, 6 versus 9. 10 felony assaults, we're up 4. 17 burglaries versus 14. 29 grand larcenies versus 35 last year. And 7 grand larceny autos versus 3. So we're up one crime. Year to date, we're still doing real well. We're down significantly. We're down 17%. We made some very good arrests this past month to address that spike in burglaries. We were able to arrest 3 individuals for 2 different burglaries, ourselves, our patrol officers, and the 9-4 detective squad on the southern end. They were doing residential burglaries going in through the window. So I'm glad to say we got them, and that in that area, the burglaries have subsided. We have a couple patterns that just popped up. I'd like to put it out to you so you're aware. You can pass it on to your friends and neighbors and family. We have a grand larceny scam going on. In our area, we have 1 incident, possibly 2. It's being further investigated. That starts off in front of a bank. And the bank in question here is 798 Manhattan Avenue, where individuals approach a person exiting the bank who just made a withdrawal, tell them they have something on their back. At this point, the person may take off their jacket and then get in their vehicle and put it down, look at it, put it down. And then later on, tell them that, hey, you got a flat tire. Someone else tells them they have a flat tire, leaves the jacket in the car, goes, looks at it while another person goes in the car. So it's going on throughout Queens North, Queens South. We have our incident here in the 9-4, Brooklyn South, and Manhattan, Upper East Side. So be aware of it. Look, you just think it's just those 2 incidents combined in one. It's just something that doesn't smell right. You know, you have something on your back, then you got a flat tire. Like the world's, like everything's going wrong for you that day. It's not that bad of a day. Don't fall for it. But they are targeting elderly people.
Elderly women, that's right.
And elderly business people.
They better not.
I'm assuming business people because a substantial amount of money being withdrawn. So just pay attention, please, and pass that on. In our neck of the woods, our Chase, we have 1 incident from there for sure, possibly 2. Okay, but it's going on throughout the city. So be aware of that. We also have a new development on the northern end of the precinct with some burglaries. And I will say our burglaries tend to be sometimes front door entries where the doors aren't locked. Okay, so you can do something about that by locking your doors and making sure you have a good, good lock on your door, a deadbolt, things of that nature where they won't pick your door. And then we have probably just a little less than half of those. We do have some force or side entrance, window entrance. So just keep that in mind, please. In one of the incidents, the people were home during the time. Okay, so that's scary. But we're on top of it. My officers are aware of it, and they're out there looking for the bad guys on it. So please keep that in mind. We also had a great arrest in this area and in the North Williamsburg area. We get plagued with auto break-ins. A lot of times it's GPS and change being taken out of the cars, broken windows. Phil Roy led the way with his cops. They locked up an individual with, I want to say he had over 26 arrests. He's currently in. They actually observed him and watched him break into a car. And they made that arrest. And sometimes it meets the felony standard where you can have up to more than 1 year as a sentence. And sometimes you have the misdemeanor where the most they can do is a year. So these individuals, when you get them, it's nice to be able to put them away because they can wreak havoc on a neighborhood. Usually they're supporting a habit. So when they need it, they kind of go on a binge. So we've seen that subside. in the precinct too. So can't say how many he's responsible for, but it has declined. So I'm very happy about that. Graffiti-wise, very upsetting to me to see the amount of graffiti we have here, but we are doing a lot about it. I will tell you, we have 13 arrests on it this year. We have 5 in the past month. It's on top of all the other crimes we do target. Graffiti is one of our biggest quality of life issues. So we take it real serious, and we do keep it a priority. At the same time, we had truck complaints about the Jake brakes. I will say that for the past month, we've written 22 truck summonses. Okay, now it's not for Jake brakes, and then for the year, we wrote about 128 truck summonses, and most of those are for off-truck route. Okay, so, if they're in violation, we do it, and if they were using the Jake brakes and it was unnecessary noise, naturally, if we could write that summons, we would. But it's serious, and, having the trucks off the routes can cause accidents, and we take it very seriously. So we are addressing that, and have been, so just so you're aware. I think that's about all I had. I'm sorry, you had a question, sir.
Who are these graffiti people? Are they teenagers or are they older people?
It's mixed. It goes across the spectrum. You get young, you get young, and you get middle aged. You get people from other countries doing it too. So it does cross the spectrum. Speeding. I knew I forgot something. I don't have that number, but we have a strong record, and it was in the paper. Thank you very much. It was in the paper, and thank you for bringing that out. I don't have that with us, but we have 2 officers who are assigned to that, and they do a great job on it. And McGinnis Boulevard, coming off the Pulaski Bridge, you can build up a high rate of speed, and people do. And my traffic enforcement unit do target that, and very successfully.
No, I just asked about the graffiti. Isn't there some outfit that cleaning graffiti now?
Yes, we help out in that. What we do, if you had say your building, your store, your house was vandalized with graffiti, and you made a report, we can assist you in getting it removed. We would ask you to sign a waiver, and then we would take that waiver and then give it to the Department of Sanitation, and they would come by and remove it or paint it. Correct, Steve? Phil?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
We have if anybody's interested in the cleanup program, we have flyers in the back of the table here. Okay, so if you have a neighbor in the building, take some flyers, hand them out to your neighbors, have them fill it out, give the fax from now to the Department of Sanitation. You go through a list of graffiti removal. It's either paint or the power wash. Take the graffiti off. Okay, so we have those flyers in the back here.
Can you remove it all, or some of the graffiti?
Well, it's case by case. They do as best they can. So it's tough. A lot of times you get most of it off, and then other times you may have to paint it. So it's matters what type of surface it's on. One thing about painting is if you get it again, it's a lot easier to continue to paint. And the sooner you clean up the graffiti, if you continuously clean up the graffiti, they tend to move on to somewhere else because they want their graffiti to stay and be seen. So it's a lot of work to stay on top of that, clean up.
These people are artists, they want to think that they got a lot.
They're using the wrong canvas.